just wanted to show you a few tricks. This is what I'm using. This is my palette. This is my double-decker palette. And I have everything I need for my entire face in here, including what we're gonna mainly focus on today, and that's color correction. So I've been eating too much chocolate, so I have a sit there, a sit there. This guy is a wild freckle. He's not really a zit, but I have some redness on my nose and right through here. So we're gonna focus on a little bit of color correction, then we're just gonna kind of finish off the face in a little bit neutral way. So first things first, how we're going to color correct this. So I'm gonna use my multitasker brush, and I'm gonna take a little bit of my main highlight. These are cream makeups. They blend out beautifully. They work together really well. So this highlight, this main highlight, and this brightening highlight, and this contour right here are what's gonna make up what's called my 3D foundation. My 3D foundation is essentially what you would use it for is in replacement of your main foundation. Like if you're using a liquid or a powder, these three colors together would make up your foundation. So I'm gonna just put a little bit of that main highlight color, which I use Mango, and I'm just gonna do a little dab over that guy. See, like he's pretty much disappeared. Let me look in my mirror because I'm looking in the camera and the light from the window is so bright. So let me just, and it's right in my hairline, which is kind of a precarious spot to like get your cream into. Okay, so we put a little color on him. Now let's put a little bit on this guy right here. Okay, now I'm gonna do a little bit something else to keep these covered nicely. I'm gonna take the other end of my multitasker and I'm gonna go into my Vanilla Dust setting powder, and I'm just gonna dab into that, get a little bit on the end, and then you can watch there while I do it in my mirror. I'm just gonna tap a little setting powder over top of that, okay? So nothing crazy. Just a little bit. You just want a little bit right on the dot. You don't need to surround the whole thing. You just need to go right on it, okay? So even I got a little too much on this guy over here with the color. Okay, now I'm just gonna let that sit there while I do the rest of my makeup. So first I'm gonna take my blend brush and I'm gonna do a little bit of light color correcting right here over my freckles. And what I like to do on my freckles and my redness is use a contour color called Aspen because it neutralizes the redness. And there's a lot of science that goes into this makeup. It's all about neutralizing the colors. So say for instance, you have a little bit of redness on your face in one area, but not in another. You really don't need to put that color necessarily in all over your whole face, just where the redness is. Because what could happen is if I put this Aspen, say on a color in an area that doesn't necessarily have the redness or the freckles, it's gonna make that area maybe look a weird color. So you just wanna make sure you're putting it maybe where you have the redness and where you wanna cover up. So I'm just putting it right here on my nose. I'm not gonna cover my whole face in it, just where my redness is. Same goes for your highlight. If I give you and recommend Mango maybe because you have some redness, and that covers up redness pretty well too, but you only have redness throughout here and you put it down here where you don't have any redness, it may look a little orange to you. So, and that's why, because it's neutralizing redness up here, but down here it's just coming off as orange. So you might need a couple different colors to work for your face depending on how your face makes up, how your face, the coloring in your face is made up of. So if you have redness up here, maybe you want to cover some redness up there, you would do that with one color and then maybe go around with your other color. So if I recommend a couple different colors to you, that might be why. And if you're seeing a discoloration in your face with the colors I recommended to you, it might be because they're in the wrong spots. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look at this. I don't have a whole lot right now, but I can see it. It's a little blueness right here under my eyes. So I'm gonna take the other end and dip into my Mango because that kind of helps, I think, a little bit with but I'm just doing a super light layer of that mango because that's not necessarily my brightening highlight. My brightening highlight's Sunlit, which also kind of neutralizes the discoloration under my eyes too, but I'm just showing you right now, just in case you have a lot of discoloration under your eyes, you can use the mango color, just a very, very, like the lightest layer possible, and just tap that in to cover that up, because we're gonna go back over it with our brightening highlight. Let me just get a little bit more right up in this corner because I can see a little bit more like bluish, purplish. I'm kind of putting it on almost as an eyeliner because that's where my blue purple is most pronounced, is right along my eyelid, my lower eyelid. And the same goes for your upper eyelid. Like I have some redness and veining up here, so you can just go right over top that. Again, very light layer. This will also work as a primer for your eyes. So if you're gonna put on some eye makeup after this, you wanna prime your eyes, this works as a great primer, but also neutralizes the discoloration up there. So I'm gonna put on the rest of my makeup now. So I'm gonna use the same end of this blend and tap brush. I'm sorry, blend and tap brush. This is definitely not the blend and tap brush. This is the blend brush. We have another brush. This was the blend and tap brush, but now it's called the smudge brush. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this end and we're gonna dip into that Sunlit. That's my real brightening color. And we're just gonna go right here over top that area. And we're just gonna do some brightening now because that's what you want. You want the light to come to the center of your face and you wanna brighten up under your eyes. So now I'm just taking this color and going in the corner of my eye, down my nose a little bit, and right under my eyes. See how different that looks from this side now? So we're gonna do that on this side, same thing. And this video is gonna be a little bit longer because not that color correcting takes a lot of time, but explaining it, you know, to you at the same time takes a little bit. Okay. So now we have that brightening and we're just gonna let it sit there. It's not quite blended in yet. Now we're also gonna brighten in the middle of our forehead right here. Not blended still. Okay, now we're gonna go in with our contour. This is my contour, it's a nice dark color called Indigo. I'm gonna use my detail brush, the broom end. I'm gonna put, if you had I'm gonna put my contour right here under my cheek. I'm just hugging my cheekbone, going down and coming up. And if you had, say, a blemish in here, you would do the same thing. You would, just like I showed you up here with these, you would do the same color, same thing with your highlight in there, and then you could go over with your contour. And then we're gonna put our contour up here. Remember now, I covered up this blemish up here, and that should not interfere with me putting on my contour now. Okay, and I have my hair up today, so it's very obvious that I have contour on now. And then you can also go right under here and chisel out the jaw. Contour acts as a shadow to really chisel out the features you want to see and shape them. We're gonna just drag that down on our neck. And like I said, we're just doing basic today. Now I'm gonna go into my main highlight with the other end of my blend brush. I'm just gonna go right up here with that, just a little light layer. We're gonna go right over here. I'm gonna go along my jawline. Now Mango is my normal color. It does cover up redness too, but it also is my color, so it works really well. For me, it doesn't pull orange on me at all. We're gonna do a very light layer over our cheeks. We did put that aspen on there, so this is again just gonna be a very light layer over top that aspen contour that we put on there. Just doing a very light touch, but getting plenty of coverage. You see how my freckles almost have just disappeared? Now I don't want them to disappear because I like to show them off, but they've like pretty much like they're barely existent, right? And we're gonna kind of bring that up into here because there's that guy over there that we needed to cover. So we're just gonna make sure he gets all covered up and blended in. Go a little bit above my, okay. Alrighty. Now we're just gonna blend the whole thing in. You can use this brush, or I like to use my blush and bronzer brush this end to just do a very light, you know, blending now. Let's get that contour blended up into our hairline. We're just creating some shadow here. Over here is where I had that blemish, so we're just gonna tap into that guy. We don't wanna see him, right? And we can't anymore, it's completely gone. Under my eyes, I'm just gonna kinda just take that out and up, okay? I always tap in around my nose and around here, around my mouth. Okay, same thing here. Now I'm left this contour here because now I'm just gonna go in with a very neutral blush. This is our Nude Lip and Cheek. I'm just gonna do a light tapping. Just kind of smile, go above the contour there. And then we're just gonna take this. Okay. And then we're gonna do the same on the other cheek. Very little bit here. Nude is such a pretty color on, like, I just love nude. Nude's my definite go-to almost daily. I'd say nude and Tropicana are kind of my favorites. They're the ones I always keep in my compact and I rarely switch them out. Ruby too, she's like my third, but I'd say Ruby and Cindy. Okay, because they make an impact, but it's not super bold, but you can make it bold. Okay, so everything's blended in. Now we can just focus on our eyes a little bit, just doing just a very little bit today. So I'm just gonna use this color called Pup and this color called Lullaby. I'm gonna use just the smudge brush because it's got nice broad ends on it and I can cover a lot of area. And I'm just going to do Pup all over except up here underneath. And then again over here. And then I'm gonna dip into Lullaby with the other end. And we're just gonna go right here in the crease and a little above the crease. I'm gonna drag a little bit under as well, just as like an eyeliner. Again, this is just a nice quick look. Very natural, very basic. Going right under. Oh. And I'm just gonna take the other end and blend that out. And then lastly, we're just gonna take a little bit of illuminator, which I forgot to put in my palette here, but let's just grab one. Angel's right here, so I'm just gonna use Angel, pop it right into my palette. Gonna put a little bit of that just right here above my cheekbones. This is a nice natural look still with just a little pop of color. I'm gonna put a little bit up here. And we're done. We've color corrected. We've made everything look great. Oh, let's just do a quick, here's my lip moisturizer. I'm just gonna do a gloss. You don't have to do anything crazy. I'm gonna spray it with my Stay Spray, put on some mascara, and we're done. This is it, finished look. If you need a color match, I'd be happy to help you, or you just wanna ask me some questions about this makeup. It's amazing, phenomenal, has changed my life. I love cream-based makeup, and I will never, ever, ever use anything else. Okay, everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching.